It's your boy Yuck Mob. Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry I didn't do a stream yesterday, but I've been chilling all day yesterday watching DC streaming. What my take on it was, you didn't see me or hear from me all day yesterday, so you know it. I was chilling. I had my popcorn, I had my drink. I didn't want to be disturbed. I was straight. I mean, nobody can interrupt me. I was telling people I'll call you back. Um, It has its good, it has its bad. The price for a year now is $74.99. That's with the 20% off. Um, as I was watching it, I mean, it has some new, it has some old. I think they need to put more recent stuff on there, but the old anime, the old TV shows, the old movies had me reminiscing about my childhood. Almost brought a tear to my eyes. I'm watching the old Wonder Woman. I'm watching the original Superman. I'm watching Christopher Reeve as Superman. They got one, two, and three movies. I mean, I was good yesterday. Ain't nobody could tell me nothing. Um, Besides that, they have animated. They had Batman, the animated series. You had Green Lantern, Emerald Knight, uh the other movie he had. You had a lot of animated movies on there. Batman Bad Blood, uh Batman Gas Night, Gaslight, I'm sorry, I said Gas Night. Gasoline Light. You had almost every Batman series movie on there almost. But like I said, they need to do some updated, but it's new. It just came out, so they're gonna bring some new stuff on there. Um, you can I guess watch it on your update the app on any device, and if you have a Chromecast or a Roku, you can cast it on your TV. I looked at the reviews on the Google Play Store, and it said a lot of people saying they couldn't watch it on TV, but I had no problems watching it on TV when I cast it out from my phone. So, like I said, there's some good, there's some bad. They give you a 7-day trial. If you don't like it within 7 days, you can tell them, I just don't like it, and I guess they'll cancel your money back. You ain't got to pay whatever. But if you have my attention, whole day yesterday had my attention. I mean, like I said, I remember this on old Superman movies, reminiscing on the original Superman, black and white. They had old Batman, the power bang and all that when they were fighting. Um, Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. I mean, you have my attention, and when you have my attention like that, that's what's up. Um, you have a Wikipedia on there. You can look up like almost everybody you can name is on that Wikipedia, and you can just they give you a quick detail, their superpowers, their skills. Um, you got news on there. You got the DC Daily, where they tell you about what's going on with DC, and they have special guests and they have giveaways and all that. Um, for the $7.99 you pay a month, I have no problem with it. Right now it's at the beginning stage. I think as the app progress, they're gonna work on the app. It's gonna be a lot better. I myself had no problems. I mean, it had my attention. I'm sitting up here watching movies. I didn't even want to move off the couch because I was every time a movie went off, I'm going to another movie or I'm reading what's on the app. I mean the Wikipedia, or if I'm not reading the Wikipedia and watching the movie at the same time, I'm looking at their comic books. But the comic books I have when the one thing I didn't have a problem with was the comic books. Um, they need more recent comic books. I mean, I understand you only paying $7.99 a month, which that's what Netflix and Hulu and whatever. But they need a little bit more recent comic books. Um, I was straight. I mean, a lot of people like me that are like DC fanatics or fans, whatever you want to call it, they're gonna be happy with it. Um, Marvel, they need to get up on their game because this is gonna be an eye opener. This is the game changer right here. Marvel need to step up. But anyway, I'm gonna play some stuff audio for y'all so y'all hear from other people's opinion, not just mine.
Dedicated solely to the DC streaming service because a lot of people have had a lot of discussion about it, what the price is going to be, what's going to be included in it. So I wanted to just make a video speculating a lot about what will be included, what will be the price based on other services and products. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, and comment below what your thoughts are. So let's get right into this. So first off, just to catch everyone up, the DC streaming service is called DC Universe. And based on the description on the website, it says DC Universe is the first of its kind immersive digital experience designed just for DC fans. One of many incredible things your membership will include is unlimited access to the following exclusive series. So we have Titans, Swamp Thing, Young Justice Outsiders, and Harley Quinn. Now, like I said in my other video, the important thing to note here is it says one of the many incredible things includes these series, right? So those series are exclusive. I'm just going to reiterate that again. Those are exclusive series. They are not going to be on any other digital streaming service because DC wants pure profit from those and they don't want to share, basically. Nothing wrong with that. It's smart if they want to make a lot of money off of it, but just saying. But that's only one of the things that's going to be included in this digital streaming service. So then that raises the question, okay, what the heck else is going to be included in this thing, right? So there's quite a few things that DC could honestly include in this package. It is called DC Universe. It is a bit of a generic name, but it could be an all-inclusive thing where DC's saying, hey, if you want anything DC, come here. So there could be a lot of benefits to this. For example, they could possibly have some way to say, hey, if you're subscribed to DC Universe, you can have a discount on digital comics, or maybe you have access to some digital comics for free, or something like that. I definitely think that comics is going to be something that they try and push with the DC Universe because they are, a comic company. They make movies and they make TV shows, but if they didn't push their comics, I would be a little bit curious as to why they didn't at least use the opportunity to try and get people interested in their comics. But anyway, I think it would be cool because they do have a huge, huge history of comics, right? 80 years worth, depending on the character. And it would be interesting to see them try and incorporate digital comics into this, possibly, being able to read them through that. Maybe even, I don't think they would do a physical comic discount. That wouldn't really make too much sense unless it was on like a trade that they released, maybe something like that. But I think comics are definitely going to play into it. It could even be like more of a video format of a comic. Like they make that with some comics where they'll have it to where it like, you're watching a movie, but it's basically a comic. They could do something like that. We really don't know.
Welcome.
They could
Thank you
have
for
maybe
coming.
commentary over comics. They could have the creators come in and have some sort of insider information, kind of like what they do with DC All Access. I definitely feel like
Welcome.
that's
Thank you for
also going to
coming.
be something where we get a lot of industry secrets with the DC Universe. I think that'd be really cool if we got that. Maybe some details on like how the Batmobile was made, or what the plans are for this next storyline, or possibly some extras on, I don't know, the Aquaman movie, something like that, right? I think that they're really going to do a lot of different things with this, and there's certainly a lot of opportunities for this as well. So aside from like industry secrets, possibly some exclusive commentary tracks for movies, comics aside, they have, of course, their animated series. I think because this is a digital service and because of the competition, which we're going to get into that a little bit later when we talk about the price, because competition in the digital streaming service is so steep, they're going to have to bring it. Like, there's going to have to be a lot of stuff on here. So, if you ask me, I think what they're going to do is they're going to put everything on here. It would make the most sense, right? I think they're going to do Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Justice League, Teen Titans, Static Shock, Super Friends, Young Justice, obviously, Teen Titans Go, Beware the Batman, Green Lantern. Like, everything's going to be on here, right? It would only make sense. And you know what? It would also be really cool is if they took this opportunity to say, you know what? You guys really like these animated series, right? How about we continue some of them? Like, for example, Teen Titans, which never got an official end. Because Titans has been so popular, why not just finish Teen Titans, the original, from the early 2000s? That would be awesome. Just continue it. In the same style, the same voice actors, all that, right? That would be awesome if they did that. And that would also be a big seller. Now, if the Teen Titans animated series and the Titans live action series were kind of competing against each other and people started comparing them, that might be a bit of an issue. But, if they both turn out good, then whatever. So there's a lot they could do, pull the huge library of animated series they have. They could even maybe, this would be pretty cool, if they did some of the, spoofs and put that on there, like maybe Robot Chicken, which would be really great because I find their spoofs on DC to be hilarious most of the time. So yeah, do stuff like that. They could make their own spoofs. They could make spin-offs, like short little films on something, like, I don't know, maybe make a 10-minute Booster Gold video or something like that, right? A little high budget, but it would be something cool. They could do more live action stuff, like a series, like Arrow, Flash, maybe shorter, maybe longer. A lot they could do with that. They could even do, honestly, I see at some point that they're going to do a lot of their live action stuff on this platform from here on, and I do think that they're going to throw Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, all that stuff. Like, every one of their series that's live action, I feel like they're also going to throw that on here, because why not, right? If this is the DC universe, you're going to want everything DC. You're going to want a lot of content. So I definitely see them doing all the live action series, even the ones that maybe weren't as popular or got canceled, like, I don't know, throw Birds of Prey on there, throw Constantine on there, like, just throw all that different stuff on there, right? Have a big variety of things you can watch. Definitely the movies as well. I mean, they're going to have every DC movie on here. If they didn't, that would be kind of dumb, honestly. So they'll have all the old stuff, the Supermans, the Batmans, all that. Even the crappy Justice League movie. Maybe they'll throw that on here. It would be a funny thing to watch, right? The Dark Knight trilogy, Man of Steel, Justice League, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman. You get the point, right? It's going to be all their stuff. And this would be a good opportunity, like, for the people who maybe never checked out their cinematic universe because the numbers aren't there. Maybe people will now check it out if they have the DC Universe membership from trying to watch these other series, and then they say, okay, I've never seen Justice League, I'll watch Justice League, and maybe they end up liking it. It might be a way for them to recoup some of that loss, So that would be smart for them. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Also, they even could do a thing like, how movies, when they get released on Blu-ray and stuff, they could do a thing where, hey, you know what, during this week, since you have this subscription, you get to watch this movie for free, or you get a discount on the digital release of this movie. I could see that happening as well. So there's a lot they can include, obviously. DC, been around for a long time, a lot of stuff. If they include all that stuff, depending on the price, it could be a great thing. But how much is this thing going to cost? So in order to figure that out, you have to look at the competition, right? Because if you don't look at the competition, you're kind of just throwing a dart into the dark, right? So, looking at some of the popular options. So we have Amazon Prime Video, which Amazon Prime, you can have the Prime membership and then have the video included. But if we're just looking at the video portion, the video costs $9 a month. Has original series, has movies, TV shows, you get it, right? It has quite a bit of stuff on it. So we have Amazon Prime Video. We have the individual, like, network things, like CBS All Access, stuff like that. DirecTV. We're not going to count those because those are like already kind of existing things, like Dish, Direct, all that. Not really going to count that because that's like cable stuff. ESPN Plus, which is $5 a month or $50 a year. Okay, but it's just sports stuff. Which, I mean, there's a lot of sports stuff, but Filmstruck is $7 a month for basic and $11 per month with the Criterion channel. I'm not sure what that is, but it's a film thing, has a lot of different films on it, right? Let's see, what else on here? There's a lot to compare it to. HBO Now, $15 per month. That's a high-end one. I think that's the most expensive one I've seen, which is all the HBO quote-unquote high-quality things, HBO, or not HBO, just said that. Hulu is $8 per month with ads or $12 per month without ads, which that could be a thing as well. They could do a split thing where it's like this much with ads, this much without ads, because I've seen that on quite a few of these. So that's an option as well. They really want to rake in that money. Let's see. Netflix is $8 per month. And then, okay, for standard definition, oh man, Netflix's prices have went up a lot since I had Netflix. $11 per month for high definition on up to 2 screens, and $14 for 4K high definition with up to 4 screens. So basically $11 a month because no one wants to watch standard def at this point. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointing you, Netflix. Jeez, that's went up a lot. PlayStation View, that's more of a cable package. Showtime is $11 per month, and then $9 per month through certain services. Okay, so that's like basically $11 per month. And Stars, $9 per month. YouTube TV, that's a TV service. YouTube Red, I'm not sure how much YouTube Red is, but that doesn't really seem like it would fall in the same category. And then another thing I wanted to throw in here was some of the anime streaming services, because I feel like those are, worth talking about too. So Crunchyroll is $6.95 a month, and Funimation is $5.99 a month. So just throwing those out there. So based on all that, you can probably expect this thing to be probably somewhere from like $7 to maybe $12 a month, if I had to guess. We'll have to see really how this goes. It depends on how much they include, obviously. If they include everything that I said with exclusive stuff and more exclusive series, I could see it being probably maybe $10, something like that. Depends on if they do the with ads or without ads. If it's going to be with ads, it's going to be cheaper, obviously. We'll have to see how many ads they throw in there. It'd have to be reasonable. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors. Obviously, when we get to Comic-Con, I would hope that they have enough sense to, break this down. I'm like 95% sure they're going to do that, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But a lot of interesting stuff here, and, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's a good service. Of course, the problem is, now that there's so many digital streaming services, it's kind of bad for the consumer, because if you want everything, you kind of have to do 50 things, right? You have to buy so many services, it kind of defeats the purpose of the digital service in the first place. But anyway, that's another topic for another video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said in the beginning, comment below your thoughts. Like if you like.
Welcome to Comic Talk Today for Wednesday, September 12th, 2018. And it is finally here. DC Universe has kind of come out. And when I say kind of, I mean I've had no issues whatsoever on the website. You can go to DCUniverse.com and watch all the content. You can read all the comics. You can do whatever other stuff is in there. It works perfectly fine. However, on the phone side of things, I haven't been having that much luck. Now, I will say, I do like the way that the phone app is laid out a little bit more than the website. Maybe because it's more compact, I'm not sure. But I do like it a little bit better. However, I cannot, for the life of me, get any videos to play on the phone. Cannot get any videos to play. And that's a shame, because I really wanted to try it. If you have a Chromecast device, which I do, you can actually cast your phone screen from the app onto your TV. So I wanted to watch, for example, The Death of Superman in full HD on my giant TV. However, that's not going to quite work out because it's just not working. I get an error whenever the videos start to load.
Man, I'm
Fortunately,
just
the
chilling,
videos do work just
Rodriguez. I'm
fine on the
chilling.
website. It is
Did
a
you
little
watch that
slow, but I
DC?
think that's to be
Nah,
expected.
man,
I
we
think
chilling.
on
We
a
watch. We
launch
talking
day.
about DC
And
tonight.
yeah, I'm going to give you a little
I mean,
quick
this
run
morning.
through and I'll do some
We'll talk
thoughts
about
as
his bitch
well.
ass
I'm going to
this
say this
morning.
too. I had issues signing into the website itself. So I originally used one of my Gmail accounts, which I was using for the DC All Access app, and you were able to sign in with that account. However, when I try to actually become a paying customer, it
We'll
does
talk about
not
his
work.
bitch ass
Does not work.
later on this
It
morning.
gives me an error message that it can't tie something. And I looked at the back end stuff on the console. All that stuff is boring for anybody watching this or listening to it. But
Stay tuned. We going
it's
on
not
that
working.
bitch ass
So I had to
zone
use a
and that
different
whole
email
ass candy
address
too.
and just start from scratch, and that worked out just fine. So just a
Alright,
thought here:
alright.
if you're trying to migrate your old DC All Access account into the new DC Universe service, it may or may not work. All right, so let's take a look here. So if you're in the audio version, by the way, I apologize. I do recommend you watch the video of this. This is the first video I think I've done for this podcast, like actual video, even though I've put videos on YouTube before. But anyways, I'll go through this. I think the layout of the site is actually pretty good. So you've got on the top, you're separated by movies and TVs, comic books, community, news, encyclopedia, and shop. I'm not going to talk about any of these other things except maybe encyclopedia. I think that's actually pretty cool. But it's pretty straightforward. It looks like a website. Surprise, surprise. There's a trending movies and TV section, which I'm curious to know how they're figuring these out. I mean, Young Justice, I would assume, would be on the top because people love that show. But things like Birds of Prey, I don't know, man. I don't know. It lasted one season because nobody liked it. So I don't know. Maybe people want to check it out because everyone forgot about it. I think this was a what network was it on? Was that on UPN? I think so. I watched the show. I enjoyed it. It wasn't good, but I enjoyed it. Then if you go further down, you've got a trending comic section, and of course you can see more of that. This I do like, essential Batman storylines. So there's a lot of focus on Batman, and they've talked about how they're going to be curating things and moving them. Based on what they're trying to promote at the time. I do like this essentials section here. It's pretty straightforward and it's got good stuff on here. So Dark Knight Returns, you can read Batman Year 1, Under the Hood, and A Death in the Family. Of course, I recommend reading all of those, not necessarily in that order. I actually started rereading Dark Knight Returns. We're going to get to the comics here in a few, but I do like this essentials section. I also like the essential Batman characters. So, matter of fact, let's get to know this. Let's go. Let's do a get to know Dick Grayson. And when you pull this up, it's actually going to give you any videos that are available on the website that relate to the character. So you see here, there's a few different videos from like the old Batman 60 or the Batman cartoon. There's some from the Young Justice, and I'm not sure what this one is. That might be Teen Titans. But really cool. I like the fact that you can do that. And of course, they've curated a set of books that you can look through here. So you've got Nightwing 1, Nightwing 2, Nightwing 3. Pretty straightforward, right? It gives you kind of an origin of who the character is. And these are from New 52. You also got New Teen Titans from 1980, number 1. And then New Teen Titans from 1984, number 1 and 2. And 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So not a huge list on those. But I think if you want to know who the hell Nightwing is, number 1, shame on you because you should know these things. But number 2, it's pretty easy to get to. So I do enjoy that. I like that DC went that route. And you can do that for quite a few characters. So right now the spotlights are on Batman, Catwoman, and Nightwing. And that makes sense with the focus on the Bat characters. There's also a get to know Joker and a get to know Harley. And I'm curious, let's look at the Harley section. Okay, see, that's cool. So you got this one actually has movies involved as well. So you got Batman Assault on Arkham, Batman Ninja, and then Justice League Gods and Monsters. You've got some episodes of the Batman animated series on here, and then you've got a few books. Batman Adventures 12, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is the first appearance in a comic book of Harley Quinn. Then you've got Harley Quinn books from New 52 and from Rebirth. So very cool. I like the fact that they're doing this, and the layout's actually pretty good. So recommend check that out. All right. If you scroll past to the bottom, you'll see a discussion because it's 1990 and we need forums apparently. But I guess people still like this kind of stuff. And then at the bottom, you've got a news section. Let's look over. I'm going to start with the encyclopedia section first because that's the one that I want to do the quickest. And I do like this. You've got a breakdown of Batman characters, you got Batman villains, Batman allies, and then you can, of course, go into all. And then when you go into all, you've got a much larger encyclopedia of characters. I'm curious on some of these more obscure ones, why they would be on here. Let's take a look at, for example, Captain Carrot. And yeah, see, so all you get is a history section, which I think is pretty cool. And then in the related content tab, all you have is a discussion section because Captain Carrot has never been in any DC TV comic book or TV show. And shame on DC. They should put Captain Carrot in every single one. Overall, I do like the original impression of the layout. It is still pretty sparse, but pretty good, I would say. If I go on over to the movies section, you see that Death of Superman is kind of prominent up on top. I believe it's the newest film to come out, so of course that makes sense. You've got Super Friends, which, oh my god, I cannot wait to see this. It's definitely going to be on my list. Gotham by Gaslight, the Wonder Woman series from '85, and of course Batman the Animated Series. And supposedly this was supposed to be in HD. I started watching the animated series, and it does not appear to be in HD. So I don't know if that's coming later or what the situation is right now, but I have seen videos of the HD release, and it doesn't look like what I see here, but who knows. And then if you scroll down further, you have some movie section as well. So you've got Superman 1 and 2, Wonder Woman, and an animated Wonder Woman, by the way, not the recent film. And then some animated movies. You've got different animated series. You've got live action series, including Constantine, so that's cool. The show may be canceled, but at least you can watch it here. The Adventures of Superboy. God, I've never seen that. I'm going to have to watch that. Birds of Prey again, Lois and Clark, Flash, etc. This is Flash from the 1990 Flash, not the CW stuff. So as you remember from when I talked about this, I don't even know how long ago that was, but not too long ago. I talked about how the CW stuff will not be in the service. From my understanding, it will be at some point, but you'll have to purchase it separately from anything else. I wonder how long that's going to last. So I know that, for example, the CW has a deal with Netflix, and I think for now that may be a more lucrative deal than actually having it on this DC Universe service, and that makes sense. So if you want to get them, you can purchase them, but right now you cannot. I do like these specials. Some of them I have not seen, so these are among the top of my list right now. There's a Look Up in the Sky, The Amazing Story of Superman, Batman Unmasked, The Psychology of the Dark Knight, Secret Origin, The Story of DC, The Science of Superman, Legends of the Superheroes, Batman Tech, and then you've got some shorts as well, DC Nation shorts. So it looks pretty good. Let's pick one of these. You know what? I guess since I talked about it, I'm gonna pick the Batman the Animated Series. Oh, I guess I should probably log in because I'm not logged in. That's fine. Here's my email address in case everyone wants it. It's not going to do any good, so. Alright, so let's go. I've already started this one, so let's go ahead and do it. And I'm only going to play for a few seconds because I want to be taken down from YouTube. But you can see what the layout looks like. Pretty straightforward. You got a division here by seasons. You can pick different seasons, different episodes. I think the layout's good. Layout's good. I'm surprised that there's not everything in here yet, but I think this will look pretty nice. Now again, if you have a Chromecast enabled device, you could stream this to your TV, or I guess some TVs will be getting this DC Universe app. But I think it looks pretty good. Like I said, I like the layout. Let's talk about the comic section, because I think this was pretty interesting, and one that I haven't played a whole lot with, but it looks pretty good. So I'll start off at the top. You've got stuff that kind of they're pushing right now. So you've got the original Batman series, Batman Beyond, things like that. You've got stuff that you've already started reading will show up immediately below that. And then you've got a trending comic section. Again, these are curated, so these will have to do with whatever TV shows are coming out. So Teen Titans is coming out in October, so of course a lot of the stuff on here is Teen Titans related. You've got Doom Patrol, because of course they're going to be in the Teen Titans show and they're getting their own show. You got Nightwing, Young Justice, Batwoman, you got Swamp Thing. Oh man, so there was some news after yesterday's episode that came out that they're doing a hard R on the Swamp Thing series, and that has me really, really excited. They're really going after the Dark Alan Moore stuff, and I can't wait. I hope they do that Right below that, you got a new to DC section. So most of these will be like number 1 issues from all the various characters. I think that's a pretty good option. I'm surprised they didn't put the Batman Rebirth on the front page because that is the current run. But it does have Scott Snyder stuff on here. You've got some story arcs as well, which you can read in trade in the comic book service. Batman Year 1, Year 2, you got some Joker stuff. Maybe they just know I love Batman. Maybe this is tailored exclusively to me. Let's browse all the comics and see what we got on here. So as you can see, maybe not the largest list that I've seen, but you know, still pretty good. There's probably a few hundred comics in here that you can read. Like I said, there's still some issues with the website where some things don't quite load properly, but I do like the look of this, and it is pretty easy to browse through. Let's just pick one of these. Man, I haven't read Batman Legends of the Dark Knight in forever, so let's do that. And again, you can, once you get to the page, you can go to each individual issue, and whatever they have available, you can pick up. We'll just start with issue 1 with that fantastic Man-Bat cover. If we read the issue, it'll take a second to load up, but it actually looks pretty good. So if you're reading on a computer, which I am right now, some of this thing may seem a little distorted, but it looks great. You can do a full page view, and then just like in Comixology, if you double click on a panel, you go into a guided view, and it'll actually take you and do a guided view just like you're used to in Comixology. Now, I'm very curious to know if they enlisted the help of the Comixology folks to do this, because it was my understanding that guided view is something that's a technology that's owned by Amazon, by Comixology, and that's why nobody else does it. But I don't know. Conversion by Wildstorm. That seems a little odd. Is this a pirated copy, DC? What's happening here? That's interesting. So anyways, you can see on here, it takes you pretty much panel by panel. What I don't think it does, and I wish it did, and there may be an option to select this, is once you get to the end of a page, what I like to do in guided view is go through it, because at the end, you get to see the entire page. In the DC Universe service, you actually don't get that. All it actually shows you is the panel by panel once you go into panel view, into guided view. I think that's kind of a mistake, and I hope they correct that, but pretty good. The one issue that I'm having is you can't actually like save these to like themes, which I kind of would like. You need to automatically generate your own lists, and you can't subscribe to any of these either, which I know maybe it's not that big a deal because they're not new comics, they're old comics, but I would like to see a subscription option added to here. You can, of course, just add to favorites, or you can create a new list. So I'll probably just go ahead and create a list of stuff, like a to-read list, maybe an event list, things like that. I think that'll work pretty well. But overall, I think it's pretty good. The community section will have comments on whatever books you're reading. I don't know what the big deal is about that. I hope they're not trying to go really hard on the social aspects of this thing, because really what I'm in here for is the comics and the shows. It actually works pretty well too on older stuff. So I'm going to pull up here Detective Comics 27, and let's read the issue. And the quality of the scans is actually pretty good. So if you've never read some of these Golden Age books from Batman, then I recommend you do. I think they look great. They've done a really good job of cleaning up the originals, and man, I'm going to have to dive back into some of these as well. But same thing, you also get some other books in the series. You can view the entire series, and you get creative team and all that stuff. So overall, pretty good as well. I like that. Going back to the movies, I guess I should show that in the video. There's a bit on here, but not everything is on here. So just a friendly reminder. For example, I'm looking at the movie section here. There are about 20 movies in the movie section. So you got Superman 1 and 2, the animated Wonder Woman, Superman Shazam, Green Lantern First Flight, Batman Mask of the Phantasm, Superman 3, Superman 4, Batman Gotham by Gaslight, Batman Mystery of the Batwoman, Son of Batman, Batman Robin, Batman Bad Blood, Justice League War, Throne of Atlantis, Teen Titans, Superman Doomsday, Death of Superman, Batman Under the Red Hood, and Batman and Dark Knight Part 1. The interesting is, like I said, there may be some issues still, because both Part 1 and 2 of Batman The Dark Knight Returns, the animated show, or animated movies, are on this website. But if you go to the movie section, you'll only see part one. I don't know why that is. That seems like a mistake. And one other thing that I'd like to see is some more some better navigation, like a back and forward button, which I haven't seen on any of these pages right now. But that's okay. If I go into the animated series section, let's take a look at that. You see there's a few on here. Batman Beyond, Justice League, Batman Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Young Justice, Static Shock, which I'm going to be rewatching that, Justice League Unlimited, Superman Max Fleischer cartoons, I'm also going to be watching those, Brave and the Bold, Teen Titans, Super Friends, and Legion of Superheroes. I think that's a pretty good selection as well for right now. And I don't think it includes every single season, but it includes most of the seasons for all these shows. If you go into the series section, it's also pretty slim right now, and this is where all the new stuff is going to go. All the DC exclusive shows will go. So Constantine, Adventures of Superboy, Birds of Prey, Lois and Clark, the 1990 Flash, the 1975 Wonder Woman, Adventures of Superman, the Human Target, which, God, I forgot about that. I'm going to have to rewatch that for sure. And the Superman serials. Now, the Superman serials are fantastic, so I recommend that you put those on your list. And they're really good. They're in black and white, sure, but you know what? They're great. They're great. I wish they would put the Batman serials on here as well. I think those were a little bit earlier, so it might be tougher. And again, same thing. You can add these to lists. I wish you could just do like a watch list where you didn't need to do any of this stuff. And then, once you start playing one, it'll go directly into the next one in the series. I think that'd be awesome. There's still a lot that they could do with this website, but so far so good. On the special section, again, there's not very many. I talked about all of them. There's also the Spirit on here. I don't think I've seen this ever. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna have to watch this one as well. Now that's pretty much it in terms of the movies and TVs. Like I said, it's the first day that this is being out. This came out, I want to say like 6 hours ago, so I haven't played a whole lot with it. I think for right now at $7.99, even that might be pushing it. If you haven't seen this content in quite a while, if there's content on here that you haven't seen, I mean, it's definitely cheaper to pay the $7.99, and you do get a free month trial, by the way. So by all means, go ahead and sign up before anything. You do have to give them your credit card information for the free trial, which I don't like, but it's fine. Go ahead and do it and make up your mind on your own. I know some of you listening to this already paid for the full year, so you're getting, I guess, 3 additional months, and I think that's fine. I think that the $79, which you can still sign up for, it's still a good deal. It's probably a better deal actually because you're spending even less, and by then you'll have a ton of the new shows and content that's coming out. I do feel like I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with the service because really what I'm here for is the comic books. I own, from what I've seen on here, about 98% of the video content that's available here. Well, maybe a little lower than that because there's some old stuff that I don't own. But we'll just say 90% of it, right? So I own all the movies. In fact, all the Justice League movies are still available on Hulu, which I already paid for. So, and they have a bigger selection there than they do in the DC Universe service. The comic book section, while I do like it, I have yet to find a comic in this comic book section that I don't own, aside from the 87 Doom Patrol series, of which I own 0. I have read it, but I own 0 of it. So I'm still unsure about that yet. I'm going to be playing around with this a little bit more and see if it's worth it for me. Part of it will be worth it, right? Because then I don't need to pull these books out of a long box and sit down and read them. But the experience on my phone isn't great, right? So this would lend itself more to a tablet. And yes, when I usually read my comics and Comixology, I do it on the computer because I like the giant screen. It does, mute the panels a little bit, but it works pretty well for the most part on most comics. Right now, all I have this on, I haven't put it on my tablet. I might try it and see if I like it, but on the phone, it's not a very good experience in order to read comics. The panels are just too small. For video, it might be okay, but like I said, I don't feel like there's enough video content in here yet to make me want to stick around. So my final verdict is, I'm gonna wait out my trial. I'm gonna use this as much as possible over the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna play around with it, see how they change the service from week to week. If they're gonna fix some of the issues that I have, for example, the lack of navigation buttons to get around the website. But overall, I think it looks really good, and it's a great first start to this thing. I think there may be enough content for some folks. If you're a hardcore, heavy DC reader, this may not have enough in there for you yet. I'm just going to give you that heads up. In particular, if you own all the animated shows and the animated movies and the live action stuff, there's just I'm not sure there's enough in there yet. But some of the stuff you can't get anywhere, right? So it may be worth for you to do it for a month or so, just so you can consume that content. And by then, maybe you just forget to renew, and they'll charge you anyway. That's going to be it. So this video is going to be available on YouTube. So if you're watching or if you're listening to the podcast episode, then head on over and check out the video. It's probably the best thing to do so you can actually see me browse through the website. If you are
My partake of it, I enjoyed it. Yesterday, I was chilling watching DC streaming all day long. I had my popcorn, I had my drink. I was straight. I was telling people, don't call me. I told people I'll call you back. I didn't even check my mailbox. I was good. People knocking on my door trying to say what's up. I wasn't even trying to hear all that. But like the man said, there are faults in it. The navigation. There's not a lot of recent comic books on there. There's not a lot of recent movies on there. There's not a lot of recent anime on there. But it's good. I mean, it's straight for $7.99. You watch old anime. They had an old black and white Superman. The serials, like he said, Superman serials. Those things were straight black and white. I mean, it's a work in progress. So we just gonna see. We will see. I mean, for anything to have my attention this long, I mean, a whole day long watching TV, it must be good. So this is your boy Yuck Mouth. We'll be going in on Tyra bitch ass later on this morning in that whole ass zone and trick ass Candy and that idiot faggot in the closet, 7 deadly sins. So stay with me, stay tuned. I hope y'all have a good morning.